Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another episode of the Daily Bone podcast, where we discuss all things crypto market. That includes the majors like Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, meme coins, and of course, NFTs. Today, we're going to discuss some more Bitcoin reserve news coming out of the US. We're talking about the failed Solana inflation proposal overnight, and we're going to talk about some runners on the meme coin side after a surprising Coinbase listing. GM. We've got Clemente and Kicks with me here today. Kicks, how you feeling?
Pretty damn good, dude. Full moon today, and I didn't sell the bottom. So yeah, maybe we get a little reversal here off of the full moon for the next, I'd say 5 days. And then we'll see what else is happening after that. That's all you can ask for. That's all you can think of. I also got tagged in some Marin Alt, whatever her name was. Remember that? Yeah, I got tagged in some posts where people were trying to like find her. She apparently blew up all her account, kind of over leveraging moon cycles. Happens to the best of us.
Yeah. I mean, this is like the Super Bowl of moon cycles. I think when you have like the blood moon eclipse or something, it's like this is when everything's supposed to fall apart. So
and this was the blood moon.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure the last blood moon was November 2022, which was like the Pico bottom.
Yeah, so I had some shorts open earlier in the week coming into the blood moon, and now that they didn't really play out, I'm a little nervous here. I might need to close them for a loss and respect the moon gods.
Yeah, you got to respect that. The tidal wave cycles.
Did we see this yesterday? Did you guys see this little this generator, the AI alignment on Twitter?
This bullshit is what it is, dude.
Let's look at Clemente here.
Yeah, it makes sense. She is like a terrible person without any organization.
What does that even mean? So what is chaotic evil? Is that the worst possible part?
That means you're like an undead necromancer.
Your tweets reflect a somewhat selfish attitude, often focused on personal gains and losses without much concern for the broader implications on other in the crypto community.
Actually, more like an undead barbarian, probably, because even like a necromancer has kind of like a rule book.
What?
How do you resurrect something from the dead? I'm thinking more Dungeons and Dragons kind of.
Damn,
you're chaotic neutral.
Yeah, dude, that's just who I am. You know what I mean? And the only reason why I'm not super chaotic good is because I have to spend a lot of time on Twitter, criticizing stupid people, and that kind of drags me down a bit. It's all good though.
We got Pio here. Let's check out with Pio where he falls on this list of you're better than Clemente. You're more good than Clemente, but not quite as good as Kicks.
What?
They're also labeling you as chaotic neutral.
Why am I chaotic? I'm lawful. No, your tonality on Twitter sometimes is evil, I think is the problem.
Participation in controversial actions like attending an FTX orgy.
Wait, hold on. Do something for me. Put Peter Schiff, the gold guy. Put him on here.
Let's see what his exact handle is.
I'm gonna tweet this. This is very funny. I attended an FTX orgy. Okay.
Peter Schiff.
He's worse.
Oh, okay.
You know what you should do? So do
Michael Saylor.
Yeah, let's choose Rich. Do choose Rich. Michael Saylor, I think, is gonna be lawful good.
Of course you think that. You're like, oh, he's a knight in shining armor.
Okay,
choose Rich. Chaotic neutral. Slightly worse than Pio.
Is Clemente evil?
Clemente's the most evil.
I think the AI doesn't like the gritty.
Oh, that's true. Well, let's see Saylor real quick.
Is he just Michael Saylor?
It's at Saylor. It's at Saylor, yeah.
You just take a gravity bong to start your day or something?
No, the water went down the wrong pipe.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, you got to watch out for that. You can drown that way.
Good, baby.
Wow, Theo called it, dude.
Lawful neutral.
Theo called it, dude.
Who else?
Wait, okay, but there's something crazy there. Peter Schiff, is chaotic, but because Michael Saylor's lawful, he's by the book, right? He's very
Peter Schiff. He's on the evil side because he's just constantly saying negative things about Bitcoin. Like he has a negative baseline. It's not going to be. Yeah, I don't know. What's Trump? Yeah, T.O. Chades brought up Trump. What's Trump?
Is he like the real Donald Trump?
It gotta
Like,
be
that's the one we're
chaos.
looking at?
If this is going through any AI model, it's not going to be good.
Real Donald Trump.
AI models,
Rock is okay.
engineers don't like them.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
That was fun.
Dude, you got to do Joe Biden now for fairness. Let's see where they put Sleepy Joe at.
All right, let's get you. Dude, my favorite one. I'm gonna do him after this. I'm trying
If
to
they
figure out-
put Joe Biden in the good category, I'm gonna lose my brain, dude. Oh my god! Look at how rigged this shit is, dude. Look at how rigged this shit is, bro.
Do George W. Bush and then do Obama. Watch where they go.
That's insane.
Dude, they trained Joe Biden's tweets very well.
Holy shit.
I'm lawful good. I don't know. What are you talking about? I can't do it, Joe. I can't do Joe Biden. It's unfortunate. So who's this?
That's George W.
That's George H.W. Okay, so the AIs are okay.
Dude, the guy that apparently killed Kennedy, started was involved in the Bay of Pigs, invaded Iraq. Am I missing anything? His son probably was involved with 9/11 and invaded Iraq again.
Obama's right. Obama's the man. Forget the drone strikes.
Killing kids in Yemen, lawful good.
I have one more request. Can you do Kook Capital LLC?
That'd be a fun one.
If he is more evil than me, that will, or he's not.
Nah, he's
He's loading. What is that?
Hold on, I did it
Who's
wrong.
that?
I typed it wrong. That means like it's.
Oh my God, that is insane.
He's chaotic good.
That's what they're saying.
Ridiculous. This thing's fun, Ray. Ellie.jpg was asking for the link. What is it?
Dub.sh
That's fine.
/x.
They gotta optimize that.
I don't think the Democrats would like it though. Joe Biden being gooder than a black man. You know what I mean?
He's pretty
That's
evil.
not good.
Yeah, I had a lot of fun with this. Adam Cochran.
Yeah, where's this fool about to be? That he's gonna be good because he's got.
He's a little negative on the post.
Yeah, but he's a Sleepy Joe fan.
Didn't
Yeah,
show
we'll
up.
see if there's the Sleepy Joe bias kicks there, dude. If he goes top left, dude, I'm gonna break my keyboard.
Adam S. Coch. It didn't play out for me. Yeah,
I think it's gonna go good, lawful good for sure.
Okay.
Well, it's still good.
Yeah, on the good side.
Good side for
Yeah,
sure.
rigged.
Be as good as Kook Capital.
Rigged.
Oh, real quick, last one. Do 2-bit idiot, and let's see how evil he is. That's interesting.
Kobe is right there.
2-bit idiot. This is
That
Brian.
guy's just- that's insane. He should
Is that
not.
Ryan Selkis?
Yeah.
Wow, they have him as good lawful. Wow.
Well, good neutral.
And wait, Kobe's right in the middle?
Yeah, Kobe's right in the middle.
Kobe's fucking had some sort of secret intelligence training. You can tell by the way he types, the way that he weaves all sorts of crazy crypto situations, and he always just finds himself in the middle. Like,
Dude.
you know what I mean? He's somehow literally like this. He's in the middle of everything. He's never caught with his pants down. He's never the one pulling the pants down.
He's just an autistic nerd. What are you talking about?
Nah, he was training.
All right. Anyway, this was fun. What's that one, Ray?
I typed in thread guy, but it's not thread guy.
Okay, got it.
Yeah, had some fun with this last night.
Yeah, it's fun.
How you feeling, Pio?
I'm feeling good. I'm feeling like I want to roll one of my Tesla options out a week, and it's going to net me another $200 a premium. Feeling like I want to do that when the market opens, probably. Yeah, that's the thing that I'm immediately thinking about. I also dumped $7,000 into my Roth IRA for 2024. It was so hard for me to do that. I hate doing that, but I dumped $7,000 in. I was responsible, and I plowed it 60% into MicroStrategy market orders and 40% into IBIT market orders.
Why? So why do you hate doing that?
Because
you can't buy Bitcoin with it?
no, you can't even buy IBIT. I just there's something about IRA stuff that makes me feel like I'm doing myself a disservice, even though I know objectively speaking, they're like, it's tax-free, blah, blah, blah. I feel like the government wants me to do it.
Oh, fuck, I love you.
And I don't want to do
I
anything
love
that they
that.
want me to do. you know, at all.
Damn, dude.
Oh, we got. Hold on, time out. We got a guest of honor in the audience right now. I just want to throw this up one more time. We got a guest of fucking.
Hey, is this your Australian friend?
No, this is a fucking tri-city.
Oh, I'm from Australia. I like dividend payments.
No, this is a tri-state area. This is some real New York shit, some New Jersey shit. It's like, what are we gonna do? We got to wake up in the morning. We got to trade some dividend stocks because what else are we gonna do? We got to make some money.
Hey, guess what? If you're married, you get $86,000 a year in dividend payments, tax-free, 0% tax, okay? From that to $250,000, only 15% on your dividend payouts.
No, some dividend shit. I didn't even know that. I'm not married. Doesn't matter for me. But anyway, look, ladies and gentlemen in the crowd, if you have any interest on passive income at all, go to YouTube and subscribe to this dude, Retire on Dividends. I listen to him every day. I listened to him this morning. Records this shit at like 4 in the morning, literally, before he goes to what I'm assuming.
American.
What I'm assuming is a finance job that he has to drive into the office. I'm assuming he rips cigs on his breaks in between being at the trading desk. But this guy knows fucking options trading inside and out. He does the coverage of Misty, which is the fund that I invest in. But there's also, if you're a Tesla guy, there's a Tesla fund, Tesla. There's an Nvidia fund, Nvidia. This guy's the shit. I'm trying to get him on my podcast, the one that I do with the orange background, to talk about options trading and dividend strategy. So guest of honor right here for sure. Retire on Dividends. Follow him on Twitter too. He needs some Twitter love. He's doing pretty good on YouTube. Has 26,000 followers on YouTube. Needs some Twitter love.
Yeah, absolutely. Anyway, and I've been enjoying these shows. Definitely hop on, Retire. They're a blast to listen to, a blast to be a part of.
Yeah,
Dude,
Retire.
It's just crazy to me. I was literally thinking about adding to my IRA, and Pio just kind of like flipped my brain upside down.
Did it. I fucking did it. I mean, look, here's the thing. Peter.
Oh yeah, you did it. At the end, you're a pussy. But like the whole reason why you didn't want to do it was so badass.
Anyway, as long as the quote bottom doesn't fall out on my Roth IRA, plowing some MicroStrategy and IBIT in there is going to work out quite well, and not having to pay taxes on it is going to be very nice.
What would be the downside? Just like the stock market explodes?
I don't really think there's any issue. Like at the end of the day, rich people also have IRAs. Peter Thiel has an IRA, so it's like
he's famously done some interesting stuff out of it.
He's done some insane shit with his IRA. Insane. He's got $1 billion in his IRA.
He's got a real thick ass IRA,
Anyway, like at the end of the day, if rich people are doing it, I want to do it. So I did it. I put $7,000 in, and then I'll do 2025 like a year from now. So I'm 1 year behind dumping $7,000 in. But yeah. So anyway, let's get on with the show.
Yeah, lots to talk about today. Why don't we kick it off with a little Kixie weather report, and we'll get into kind of like the meat and potatoes, would you say, of the show?
Yeah, love me some meat and potatoes, little Irish roots. Also read about Mesopotamia. Never mind. Friday, March 14th, looking at the crypto roundup. Majors are up slightly on the day with over $83,000 on the Bitcoins. Ethereum around 1,900, Solana at 126. Over the past 24 hours in the crypto markets, it was a busy day for Trump's family crypto operations. World Liberty Financial acquired $100 million of SAY. And we had further developments on the Trump family deal for stake in Binance US, as Binance founder CZ came out and denied any involvement in a potential deal. CZ, once again, to reiterate, no involvement in the deal. He's saying, I'm not involved in this, which makes me think he is involved in it. Next up, Solana proposal rolls right off the tongue. SIMDD-0288 failed to pass as voting closed overnight. The proposal, which aimed to reduce Solana emissions by lowering staking emissions, only received 43.5% yes votes. Looks like the no's won today. Finally, we had some more details around the U.S. Bitcoin reserve, as the Trump administration stated behind closed doors that they want to acquire as much Bitcoin as possible. Also, a U.S. representative brought forth legislation to prevent future administrations from overturning the Bitcoin reserve executive order. I fucking love that, because that's all they're thinking about. They want to bring in some people and just we're gonna sell it, we're gonna get rid of it. Not gonna happen, dude. This is what I would do. it may not be legal. Take all the Bitcoin, put it in Fort Knox. They don't let anyone in. Put it in a ledger on Fort Knox. You can't audit it. They haven't let anyone in 50, 60 years. So they wouldn't be able to sell the Bitcoin.
What happened to the audit of Fort Knox?
Hmm?
What happened to the audit? I knew that wasn't going to happen.
Everyone forgot about it at this point. They were like, yeah, we can't.
And the Epstein files didn't come out either.
I like all that shit was too good to be true. All that shit. There was no way they were going to incriminate themselves ever. Not even like Elon can do that. So yeah, anyway.
Yeah, that's the problem is that they say that basically some of the times they don't share these things because it would open up such a liability on the U.S. government in form of lawsuits that they can't share it. Like they can't be like, yeah, fucking CIA killed Kennedy, because then like it opens up a big old can of worms.
RFK Jr. will just fucking plow forward with some lawsuits. He's literally, I think he's never lost like a suit or something like that. He's got like a perfect record when he sues people. He's just an animal. So I don't know. Yeah.
Fucking Chad, dude.
All right, let's get to crypto. Let's go.
All right, so equities got crushed yesterday. S&P and NASDAQ fell to lowest level since September 2024. Crypto majors holding steady, though. Maybe you've found a little bit of a bottom here, potentially. Pulling up some Twitter information here. We haven't really seen a true market correction. This is Tony the Bull Severino saying we haven't seen a true drawdown since Bitcoin's been around. What happens in a bear market, a real bear market for equities? So like looking back to like the 2008 crisis, being like the last major like correction.
That's one way to frame it. So this guy's talking about like unholy corrections, like, you know, borderline once in 100-year corrections, like, you know, the Great Recession, right? If you're going to call it the Great Recession, that's a big one. Yeah, sure. Bitcoin has not experienced a Great Recession level pullback, but it did experience a 20-month bear market during the rate cut cycle of 2022.
Yeah,
like
yeah, for sure. I mean,
rate hike cycle.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah,
definitely we had COVID, and then I mean, but the S&P was basically up only essentially still during the rate hike cycle.
No, it wasn't. Was it?
Yeah, I mean, everything bottomed in October 2022.
I remember stocks pulling back at also. Are you saying during 2022 stocks were still going up?
Well, we had the slight pullback in 2022, but like it wasn't like a 20-month pullback during the entire rate cycle.
Well, it looks similar to the Bitcoin chart right there.
Yeah.
So that was something.
Yeah, but I think he's saying like if we do get a true pullback here, like what does crypto look like? Is that when crypto finally either depegs from equities and acts as, you know, a like Pio would say, like a store of value for Bitcoin? Is that when we finally see it like depeg from traditional equities, or is it just continue to fall with equities? Kobayashi letter, another good follow here. Did some analysis on the S&P over the bear market since 2022. So 7% away from his first bear market since 2022. Over the last 16 days, we've raised $340 billion per day from the S&P. I like this over here over like the recent different catalysts. Trump's inauguration on the S&P chart. Then we set new all-time highs on February 20th. And then from there, it's basically been down only as tariffs went live. And we've lost 5.5 trillion in 16 days since then.
I like this chart a lot. Here's what I think, very simply, and it's not what people want to hear if they're trying to take day-to-day action on this stuff. But my thought is, even if there's a, quote, bad bear market for the stock market, it's not going to last that long. I think 6 months is like not a long time at all. I think that'll make everybody panic and people will be crying their eyes out and blah, blah, blah. But Lutnick and these other guys they're just telling you everything straight up. Like Lutnick was like, we're focused on the medium and long term, not worried about a few choppy weeks, which is just like in my opinion, a grown man statement. Like, what else? That guy's like 60 something years old. He's a billionaire. He's been through all this shit. Dude, a couple weeks doesn't matter. Like 16 trading days, big fucking deal. Who gives a shit? This is just an opportunity for people that have jobs to get better entries on stocks that they love. I've been buying MicroStrategy. I've been buying back into Tesla. What you laughing, Kicks? I've been
He said people that have jobs.
Dude,
she died, dude.
People that have jobs can buy things. Crazy idea, ladies and gentlemen. Have a fucking job and buy things with the money that you make. You can buy Tesla on sale right now. You can buy MicroStrategy on sale right now. You can buy Nvidia, which is a risky raid wide damage. Dude, send it lower, raid wide. Literally send it lower. I'll send you screenshots of my buys. This guy's funny. That guy doesn't have a job, that's for sure. But anyway, real quick,
doing a lot of AOE damage in the.
Dude, I like how Alfio goes. Yeah, buy MicroStrategy, buy Nvidia. Oh, that one might be risky. There's no risk in MicroStrategy. It's like the most volatile stock.
Compared to Nvidia, I look at Nvidia and I'm just like, I don't know, dude. That like when something absolutely rips its face off to become the literal most valuable equity in the world, from like not that it's 6x'd in 1 year and then it 2x'd in like the following business quarter. I might have those figures slightly off, but it's a parabolic run.
Yeah, it's definitely had a hell of a run. You'd like to be in it before the run.
You'd like to be in it before the run, and hopefully you didn't buy the literal top of that one, because at the end of the day, like, there is competition in AI. I think Nvidia is a great company. Let's look at the 1 year performance of Nvidia. It's still technically up at over 1 year, so that's pretty good. Look at the 5 year. I mean, that's I'm just saying, like, I'm not an Nvidia expert myself. Rom's obsessed with Nvidia, but Rom was saying that it was still a buy, you know, way up there. You know what I mean? He's been saying that, right? And he's saying Tesla's not a buy, and he's saying Nvidia is going to outperform Bitcoin.
Why does he think Tesla's a buy?
He says Tesla's not a buy.
Yeah, why?
He just looks at the fundamentals of Tesla, says that it doesn't make sense, looks at it as a pure play car company, I think is a big factor. I mean, look, Tesla has a high market cap. I think MicroStrategy's got way more value than Tesla without question. Obviously, people know that opinion from me. I also think that if Ram said that Nvidia will outperform Bitcoin, which I think is just a flat out impossible take. I don't think any individual company except MicroStrategy can outperform the Bitcoin network, right? And so these are all the factors here. Anyway, long story short, even if we go way lower, holy shit, which we totally can, I think it's like a 6-month thing, 9-month thing, and then we just cook again, because look at the M2 money supply chart. Like, literally go on Twitter right now and type in M2 money supply. Like, the money printer has low-key been going burr globally, and that's really all that fucking matters. And gold is also at an all-time high right now.
Cracked 3,000 for the first time ever, I think.
Yep, first time ever. Gold also has led Bitcoin in previous bull cycles. So there's a lot of positive shit happening right now. I don't think that you should be doing 24-hour time horizon trades.
Yeah,
right?
I think that's a big problem with a lot of how people trade. And I think as the old guard dies off, rest in peace. I don't want that to happen.
Mean literally old people?
Yeah, this is the cycle of life. Is I think, and more money goes into the hands of younger people. That's just logically how it has to work out, right? The younger generations, even including our generation, but even it just compounds and gets worse as you get younger and younger, is they have such like a dopamine receptor geared towards short-term daily events that I feel like it's just going to be easier and easier to make money on longer term horizon plays, right? Like, just thinking about like what you said, which is like a correction typically lasts a period of time, right? Like, a bad one's gonna, like what happened in 2022, right, last 6 to 9 months. Like, a not so bad one's gonna last 1 to 3 months. These things just happen. They've happened in history, and time again, everything rebounds, right? But I feel like when like people with like half of all options volume is 0 day, you know what I mean? And like the desire for people to make money over 24-hour horizons, I think there's a lot of opportunity on the longer term plays. And so it's always painful when it draws down. One thing I've also noticed is it seems like the market, maybe I'm looking at crypto prices more, because definitely NASDAQ shit the bed yesterday. There's going to be less downward price action to quote unquote negative or scary news, right? Like it starts just to become numb to it, or the market starts to become more and more numb to it. And I think when you notice that shift, that's probably a sign that we're closer to the bottom. But do you guys know who Andrew King is? Like big dog in crypto?
Well, you would. I already followed that guy. That guy tweets about Tesla a lot. I kind of associated him more with Tesla.
Yeah, no, but like I think he made a shit ton of money in crypto. I think he made like over $40 million. I want to say in crypto. Damn. Apparently, he took like $11 million. I may be fudging some of these numbers, but a huge amount of his net worth and put it in a single robotics investment.
That's crazy.
Yeah, like venture capital into like an early stage robotics company, and like pre-seed money, or like not pre-seed money, like pre-public market money. He's up like 10x already on it, dude.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and he says that he's like obsessed with robotics, and he says in his mind robotics is Bitcoin in 2013. Like he thinks, and here's the thing, you talked about Lutnick, right? Lutnick on CNBC, and this was a little bit of a controversial take to me. He said a lot of the reshoring of American manufacturing is going to be robotics, and that's how it's going to be competitive internationally, right? And you think about Tesla, and Tesla's by far the best American manufacturer when it comes to advanced manufacturing. They use a lot of robotics, right? And so I don't want to rant about this. Andrew King essentially said the two places you can get exposure to robotics in a big way is Tesla or investing like VCs, which most of us just don't have access to and has very high risk reward. You got to be really smart to do that, right? Yeah. So long story short, I'm definitely looking at some Tesla plays over the next like I'll probably put in some money now, and I'll be happy to put some more money in if it drops further. It's also you're going to get this like Tesla discount, I think, over the next period of time, because a lot of people hate Elon Musk. So I think you may get a discount on that, but could be a good play on robotics. So that little robot.
No, so Tesla, you have to, it's not just a car company. It's just not like, and I feel like at this point, that's actually more accepted, like more widely accepted, that it's not just a car company. The robotics is a huge, huge factor. AI is one me and Nick were talking about the other day, where it's hard to, because now AI is being done, I guess, under X, but at the same time, like, I don't know. I feel like Tesla will leverage any AI breakthrough, obviously, that comes from Grok. Real quick, I sent one tweet. I'm going to send a second tweet. I just want to share. I know this is like one guy. This is Mike Alfred's perspective. But if you want to pull these up real quick, Kick said one thing, which Mike Alfred tweeted that I can't find right now. But Kick's pointed out that the market cares less and less about crazy manic moves. Like it just gets desensitized, just like it did during COVID, where all of a sudden the number of deaths and the, all the bad news,
it stops dragging it down. And then that's like the kind of shift, right? That's when you're like, okay, the market's not absorbing the negative news. So now the positive news, any that comes out, is going to start driving it up.
Exactly. So, I've seen comments from people talking about sell Bitcoin here and buy it back in the 60s and all that, like ludicrous, kind of just ludicrous concepts, like full blown gambles. Pull up the second Mike Alfred tweet real quick. Let's just pull that one up real quick, and then we'll be good to go. This is his take on. So no, this is the same one you just did. Can I have the other one? Trump is wringing all the exuberance out of risk assets to bring down inflation and the 10-year yield. As this process progresses, the Fed will drop rates and liquidity will surge in a looser environment with a much cheaper dollar. I don't think most people understand this yet. I mean, how How do you think anything else is going to happen besides this? We're in a rate cut cycle. It's already started. It's not like we're looking to shift from the rate hike cycle to the rate cut cycle. It's undeniable we're in a rate cut cycle. We got 3 rate cuts for this year priced into PolyMarket already. M2 is crazy. Ray, if you want to just go on Twitter and type in M2. I saw someone in the comments say M2 doesn't matter. I'm like, what are you talking about, bro? Like literally, that's like saying your baseline rapidly expanding doesn't matter. It's just mathematics, man. It's just mathematics. People have to turn to assets. They just do to make the assets go up. I'm not saying that over the next 2 months, things won't go lower. I don't want people to, perceive things that way. But I think in terms of years, not months or weeks, and over years, we're just going up, baby. So I'm just gradually deploying, keeping some dry powder, having a job and making money and deploying it gradually, not plowing 20K clips into the market, so that if we go down 15% the next day, I feel like I'm an idiot. I'm just gradually plowing.
Gradual plows from PO. What I don't understand M2 money supply. Is it forward looking? Like how do we know it's going to be at that level in May? I've seen multiple charts that are showing the M2 rising into May. Is this like a prediction, or is this like
it's like a trailing chart? So obviously when you get into this stuff, this is a whole ass thing where, people's whole professional careers are like analyzing this shit. You're talking about like super advanced economics. Just to explain it simply, money supply equals the baseline, like the monetary baseline for the world. And spoiler alert, nobody's on a gold standard anymore. 0 people are on a gold standard. So all money is going into a spreadsheet, the Fed going into a spreadsheet and literally being like, I think we need another trillion in this bad boy. It really is like that. It's actually like that. So when your base is expanding, obviously the money has to go somewhere. People park it in assets. Asset prices go up. It's why Bitcoin exists. And it's also why Bitcoin goes up pretty much. Like, because Bitcoin's the hard money, only 21 million. That's it.
Interesting. Yeah, I mean, if this does take place, I could see like it has Bitcoin has historically followed the M2. We did talk negative about the equities, but crypto has been holding up. Some things I want to point out. Here's a chart by Eric Balchunas on the Bitcoin ETF flows, and basically total flows topped on February 7th at 40.5 billion inflows and has really only dropped back 5 billion since then. So like these have held up relatively well on a percentage basis compared to equities markets. And then Kaido also has shown that maybe crypto sentiment on Twitter has kind of bottomed out here as we kind of had our first day breaking a potential trend over the last 24 hours in terms of sentiment here. Like we've kind of maybe bottomed and we're on our way back up, even though market cap is still falling. So I think, like you both have said, we could be in this position where like bad news isn't as bad and we're more numb, and we might see kind of like a little bit of a bottom here. I don't know if we're there yet, but we are seeing some positive.
Yeah, and it may be even if there's more pain on a 6-month horizon, we may have a really good month. You know what I mean? Like a really good next 30 days, or we get a little bit more bleeding than we have a run up. Like even in 2021 into 2022, like if you look at the Solana chart, it like everything bled out really bad. Right? It went like this. And then you got a nice little rally to the mean before we bled back down. And if you look over here, we're already like wicking outside of the kind of averages, the Bollinger Bands. We're like wicking down here. So this seems like relatively in the range of like a low for Solana. Also a lot of, support at this level. So I really wouldn't be surprised. It may take a little bit of period of time to work out, but I wouldn't be surprised to see some rallies in crypto prices. So even if you're looking to move things around or get a little bit more cash on a longer term horizon, it could be smart right now to look for higher prices in the coming weeks.
Yeah, definitely. RSI crossing across the bottom levels there as well. Last time it did that was the FTX collapse. So that's interesting in terms of being oversold. Just had some breaking news out of Taproot Wizards. Hit the timeline. They put an investment into Odin.fund, which is like a pump fund for runes. UD tweeted out just now that they put a investment in there trying to bring DeFi to Bitcoin. I don't know if runes are it, if they're going to be it, but interesting to see them make that investment. I feel like they have so much money they've been throwing around. What did they invest in that AIXBT token? Was that $1 million?
$1 million.
That was real?
They put $1 million into AIXBT. They're down 80% on it. That's insane.
Yeah, you remember when they tweeted, because they tweeted out like they changed their PFP to a quantum cat briefly.
Yeah.
AIXBT did when that was like the rage, and like they put $1 million in, and then that went to nothing. Yeah, for anyone who's not familiar, Odin Fund is basically like a pump fund where you can trade Bitcoin runes off chain essentially, and like without the downsides of Bitcoin. It's fast, etc. Until it actually gets.
I bet it's fucking fast, dude. It's off chain, dude. I bet that shit's lightning fast, dude.
You're just trading imaginary shit.
We're back to spreadsheets, basically. We're back to SQL databases doing the trades. Like I just imagine, right? Because it's like, do you want to settle this trade back onto chain? No, I'll sell it. I'll sell it for a discount as long as I can keep it off the chain.
This stuff's just going to take a long time to settle. It just is. And I actually love seeing, like, for example, we were talking to somebody from Sui, me and Clemente were. I love seeing that other chains like Sui are trying to integrate Bitcoin related things on their chain. I love that because it's just a full acceptance of like, look, Bitcoin's the shit. So instead of it, like Ethereum used to try to compete with Bitcoin, which is just so
sound money.
It's like being an 8th grader and trying to compete with primetime Michael Jordan. That's like, absolutely ridiculous. Like, you're not going to win, dude. It's like being like someone that just learned how to play chess and you're going to try to compete with Magnus Carlsen. Like, good luck with that. Like, have fun, right? So it's almost like if you can't beat them, which you never can and never will be able to, join them. And so it's like, instead, we're going to build for the Bitcoin ecosystem on our chain and try to innovate that way. I love it. I think it's cool. I'm going to get into it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, one of my buddies used Uniswap V4 and made a basically like a swap protocol on Base. But the fees from the swap, instead of them taking it, goes to you buying wrapped Bitcoin. Which is so basically you could trade coins on Base and like slowly stack wrapped Bitcoin over time, which I thought was pretty cool.
Very cool stuff. I like that. I like it a lot. I would take the wrap Bitcoin out, but yeah.
I just went to go find the rate cut information on PolyMarket, and I found this interesting category I hadn't seen before called MicroStrategy. Do we have an edge here with Pio's inside knowledge on MicroStrategies?
The thing I don't like about PolyMarket bets is it's true gambling where if you're wrong, you just lose all your money. So I think
like an option.
Yeah, but I'd rather sell options on MicroStrategy all day than do this.
You can sell options on this too, essentially.
I guess. I mean, will MicroStrategy be forced to liquidate? All right. Well, this is free money. They're selling dollars for what? For
92 cents.
For 90 cents.
Yeah, I'm actually on the no side on this. Funny enough.
Duh. Because you have a brain in your head.
I'm on the no side from, I want to say, a more attractive price.
People
like 88 or something.
Nobody will put any thought into this, not even 1 hour. No one will do 1 hour research on this. They just say the wrong opinion publicly and make themselves look like assholes. Only like 30% of the strategy now involves any leverage. Like 1/3 of the strategy involves any leverage. The rest is just squeaky clean at this point. But people are like, it's gonna go liquidated. It's like, dude, you guys are just like not doing any work at all. It's actually reflective of people that don't have jobs. So there you go.
Well, strategy.
How much Bitcoin do they have right now?
500,000. And people think that there's going to be a big purchase this week. People think that there's going to be a big boy purchase.
So this is money right here. Let's take this. Will they hold five? So are they going to buy 50,000 more Bitcoin in the next 2 weeks?
What was their last purchase size?
We can look it up.
They didn't buy last week.
Let's ride.
They did buy. They didn't buy the week before last week. They did throw in another buy. I wanted, or I could be wrong about that. It's hard to keep track of all the fucking Bitcoin this guy's buying with MicroStrategy. Dude, this is just a wild bet where you're like nobody knows how much he's gonna buy except for the people in the organization, and you're like, dude, the guy's gonna buy 50K. It's just like a wild thing to be.
And it's in 2 weeks. I didn't realize how quick it expired.
$4 billion worth of Bitcoin in 2 weeks.
Easy. That's chump change for sailing.
Yeah, we're right at 500K. It might be free money. I don't know. It's not my thing. My thing is not betting on the literal quantity of Bitcoin that the guy's going to buy in 2 weeks. It's not really my thing.
Did they buy any this week? 50-50.
So,
this is a coin flip.
Blade has a good question. The announcement comes on Monday. So, for example, this Monday, he'll announce last week's buys, and someone pointed out there were two $260 million Bitcoin buys this week. So some people are like, that might be him. You know what I mean? Like, that might be him, dude. Two $260 million Bitcoin buys totally could be him.
Yep. 50-50 shot if they bought this week. They haven't bought for a couple of weeks. It seems like a good time. Well, MicroStrategy announced bankruptcy in 2025.
12% chance? Who are these idiots?
There can't be much liquidity on this.
You get 89 cents. You get 3K on 89 cents.
It's not bad.
That's not
So
bad.
yeah. All right.
You get 10%. You get $300 at the end of the year. 10% on your cash. Farm some PolyMarket. Sorry for the derail. I was looking for. I was trying to find rate cut information, and I saw MicroStrategy pop up under business. And I was like, oh, what's in here? This looks interesting.
I just feel like there's better ways to deploy than these bets. I don't know.
Yeah, I agree. I'm just double checking the rate cuts. I saw they moved a little bit closer to 2 rate cuts over the last day or two.
This is the number one. I like PolyMarket not to gamble like with my money. I like PolyMarket to understand what is likely to happen in the world. Like during election night, for example, Trump winning the popular vote started surging at like 7 or 8 p.m. I was like, oh shit. Like that's crazy, you know? So I like that. I like getting news before it's news from PolyMarket. And I don't think that that's going anywhere. I think that's the future and it's just going to continue. Yeah.
So looking at the rate cuts, we're looking at 40% chance of 2 or less. So that leaves 60% chance of 3 or more. So we're still like right on that 2-3 kind of seesaw here for rate cuts. Talking about coming into a cutting cycle. So that's interesting there. I think we can move away from PolyMarket. One of the bigger movers on the day was HyperLiquid. It was up like 11 or 12% after a couple bad days. They made some announcements that they've now passed $1 trillion in transaction volume, and they implemented a margin ratio on transfers and withdrawals. So if you don't remember, we talked about the show earlier in the week. Somebody essentially opened up an ETH long position and then withdrew their like leverage capital that was backing it, forcing it into a liquidation, which essentially put that ETH long on the books for HyperLiquid's vault, which was not a very favorable trade at that point. It caused the vault to start losing money. And from that point, HyperLiquid has been like down only all week. So they've implemented some changes to leverage and margin ratio as well. It seems to have stemmed that, and HyperLiquid's up 11% on the day on the back of this news. Just wanted to mention that there. That's a token I know a bunch of people are in, and we're following pretty closely. Pio, you've been asking about HyperLiquid. Have you bought in yet? Or Kix, have you bought in any HyperLiquid yet?
Dude, I'm just sticking to Bitcoin and MicroStrategy, I think, like kind of forever. So I have this big Solana position, and now I'm convinced that the Sol BTC chart will never make a new all-time high, is what I think. And people were like, that doesn't matter, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
It does matter because I bought the Solana to get more Bitcoin. I didn't buy it to get more fiat. So I think now I will actually just hold out for the Solana to go to like near 300 again, and then just sell it and buy a physical property and just kind of like, it's not as good of a move as buying Bitcoin, but it's like just chalk it up as like, that Solana got me a house or something, like, and now I have real estate, even though I don't think buying real estate is smart, but it's like I'll get one borderline just to say that I did. But yeah.
I love Pio's just like
Rich people are doing it, so I'm gonna do it.
Yeah,
Yo,
exactly.
people jump off a bridge. Jump off a bridge too.
If rich people were doing it, then yeah, I probably would. I'd be like, what? There must be something to this.
It's just more so that, didn't you said you bought Solana to buy more Bitcoin, and then you're like, nah, I'm actually going to sell it to buy a house, even though I think it's one of the worst investments that you can do, but I'm just going to do it just to say I have one.
Basically where I'm at. It's basically where I'm at. Like,
shit.
I want to be able to silence the haters that come from real estate. Like I do like to silence whole verticals of haters, and I've silenced the haters that come from like altcoins at a level that's, like Luka Doncic balling, in the regular season at this point. So I would like to have a similar performance against real estate people. Just cross them up, take them to the cup, hit them with like a low post move, and just hit a hook shot on them. Yeah.
Here's the thing. I'll definitely agree with you. Like real estate. I think if you're trying to be like a real estate investor, it is not something that you do casually or like diversified. Like all the good real estate investors, like that's their thing, right? And they know the market. They know how to leverage. They know how to never pay taxes doing exchanges and stuff like that.
One thing I'll say on that is that the nice thing about real estate is that you can use good debt to buy it. So I actually do like that. That almost makes me feel like I'm implementing like a Saylor type strategy, a Michael Saylor strategy. So I'll realistically try to do FHA loan, put as little down payment as possible, literally like 3 to 5%, and just pay the PMI and not give a shit about it, because the PMI will be like $2,400 to $3,600 a year, which is not that big of a deal, and just have a separate portfolio that funds the real estate that's also investing in Bitcoin and MicroStrategy over the long term, maybe Tesla too. So there's I'll structure it in an interesting way. The problem is, and someone pointed out, buying in Florida, there's risk of like hurricanes and stuff, and I totally agree. I won't be buying in Florida. But the problem is I'll realistically be buying in a competitive market. And competitive real estate markets are the biggest pain in the ass on the planet, because you got some asshole that thinks buying Bitcoin, buying real estate is really buying Bitcoin, because he doesn't know what Bitcoin is. So he thinks that his store of value is real estate. So he's coming through and he's putting in cash offers on $750,000 houses. Or you're literally competing against Larry Fink. Should be illegal. Having BlackRock buy single family homes is the stupidest thing of all time. Doesn't make any sense. So you have to end up coming through with these aggressive ass offers where you're putting 25% down, you're waiving financing, you're waiving inspection, all this stupid shit. So we'll see how it plays out. I'm not in a rush because I don't really care.
That's my life right now with all of that. I wanted to touch back on PO being like, yeah, I'm gonna dunk on those real estate holders. Like next thing you know, he's gonna be buying like physical gold and burying in his backyard and be like, take that, Peter Schiff. I'm a gold maxi now. What? I'm dunking on you.
Dunking on Peter Schiff is buying Bitcoin. I've bought physical gold before and I sold it. I literally took a slight loss on it because gold and silver are violently manipulated. If you remember, there was a silver squeeze attempt. I want to say it was early 2021, where physical silver bullion literally sold out worldwide. You can look it up. Early 2021 silver bullion sellout, and the price of silver went down. It's like, oh, okay. That's how it's supposed to work, right? You literally can't buy the thing and the price goes down. After that, I just dumped everything. I was like, nah, fuck this. No, absolutely not. They're about to find gold in asteroids and shit. I'm good.
Maybe they'll find some Bitcoin in there too. Speaking of acquiring Bitcoin, the Trump administration behind closed doors hosted a Bitcoin Policy Institute on Tuesday. And they were talking, Bo Hines, the executive director of the Presidential Work Group on Digital Assets, told them that they're buying as much Bitcoin as possible. Somebody asked how much, and then he responded with, well, how many dollars would you want? So basically saying unlimited Bitcoin is the goal. Just wanted to touch on this because I think it was kind of funny. I don't know if there's any news coming out of this, but them just being aggressively hyper-focused on buying Bitcoin by all means necessary has to be at least somewhat bullish for
yeah. Shout out to my boy Kashmir here, actually having a positive contribution go versus saying a bunch of nonsense. He's saying, look at Solana go. I wouldn't have known if he didn't say that. So thank you, Kashmir. Solana chart sending.
It's okay. It's
full moon. Full moon. I fucking said.
Is it just soul or is it?
There's not a god candle.
God.
This is not on the 1 minute. On the 1 minute, it's fucking nuclear, dude.
Is it?
What is
what
it?
he's
The daily
Enhance.
enhance.
Oh, is this my
enhance.
screen? Sure.
You enhance.
Let's go to 1 minute.
What
Oh,
is going on here?
Auto. Hit the auto button at the bottom. There's an A button that automatically resizes your scale.
Oh, where is it? Down here?
When you hover over your scale, an A button appears. I don't know how you guys don't know this.
You're super zoomed out too. I can't even see the numbers on this thing.
Very
kids.
good.
Yeah, look at this on the 1 minute, bro.
Okay. Okay.
Insane.
Oopsie, sorry. I didn't mean to do
All the
that.
way from 64.4 to $65.8 billion.
This isn't a god Clemente.
It's a pump for ants, is what it is. It's
We're
not a
up
fist
4%.
missile.
4.8% on the day, which isn't
fair.
bad. I don't know what happened to cause this. I don't see any news coming across the desk right now.
Yo, real quick, is everything is computer sending? That thing we bought that I haven't checked since we bought it?
I sold it.
Everything is computer.
It was down pretty bad. It got back to where we bought it, and it was down pretty bad again last time I checked.
I'm down
I'm
$145 on it. This is so stupid.
It's sending.
I lost 2 soul on it.
down 58%. Clemente just sold.
I sold the bottom of
Beginning of
it.
the show.
I sold the bottom of it because I'm like, dude, I don't see anyone talking about this. The only reason this is pumping is because of the Please like social media narrative. But I was wrong. I sold the bottom of it.
Well, hey,
The bottom for
Sometimes
now.
you're going to sell the bottoms, dude. That's just how it works.
Yeah, we bought.
Daddy
there.
said add more. No thanks.
Average down, dude. You got to average down on your meme coins.
Yeah.
That's how people get rich.
Uh-huh. Murad's like, if you can't average down, you'll
Speaking of
never.
coins that have been running, we saw a controversial one. Coinbase lists dog in me.
I got that dog in me.
This meme coin was at a $10 million market cap earlier this week. Coinbase decided to list it, send it all the way up to, I believe, 70 million, pulling up the chart right now.
That's a good exchange pump right there.
Coinbase
this
is
is
so
one that-
washed. Like I can't get over
what?
it. What is going
Like, why
on?
are they
with
listing
Coinbase?
this?
It's more that they just don't understand the meme coin stuff because they are run like a corporate, like a tech company in San Francisco, no different than other ones. So there's probably there is probably some like woke internal stuff, even though Brian Armstrong has gone on record that he's like against that. I think that still exists there. I think that there's also an air of superiority from Coinbase because of how successful they've been for so long. And it's created a tremendous amount of distance between them and what I would describe as the hardcore degen side of the crypto market, which I don't think matters at all. I actually do not think it matters, but I think that's why you get like the perspective from crypto Twitter, which doesn't matter, that they are, like fucking up or they're not doing so well, when in reality they had that whole debacle where Solana deposits took 7 hours and everybody's crying on crypto Twitter and all that stuff, and then literally as soon as Bitcoin started running like 3 days later, Coinbase stock just pumped because Wall Street doesn't give a rat's ass about it, and all that actually matters for Coinbase is their stock price. So I think the big gap with them is the fact that they won't hold any Bitcoin on their balance sheet, so they'll never be able to outperform MicroStrategy. But I think they'll still do very well in the long term.
Yeah, interesting to see like what their like Web3 strategy is. Like, I feel like a lot of people are just constantly attacking them when they're like doing these listings. Like, why haven't you listed virtuals? Why are you listing X? Why are you listing Y? Why aren't you listing like this other one? We did see a boost across the base meme coin ecosystem though over the last day. Many coins up 10 to 30%. 10% for KeyCat. Frock was a low market cap that pumped on the news. Like, I guess people are hopeful that these obscure low market cap coins can get a pump. Yeah, interesting. And then talking about coins that have retraced low market cap potentially. This one caught my eye this morning. Mando announces that Epic is partnering with Animoca Brands for game partnerships, AI integration.
It's AI Monica Brands.
Oh, that's not Animoca.
No,
Man, that shit's confusing, dude. That shit's confusing.
I was
man.
lost on Epic this morning. I was like, oh, Animoca Brands, like that's like kind of like decent in terms of like, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, that would have been a big partnership right there.
I congratulated. I was like, damn, that's nice. I like replies. So congrats anyway, though. But we had a nice little pump over maybe other people thinking the same thing.
Yeah, I
on,
mean, we'll see.
on
I
that's
mean,
not
the
sure.
whole meme coin stuff is hard to make any moves right
I
now.
mean, it's just the highest of risk on assets,
Yeah.
right? So obviously, when you get any sort of risk off, they're going to get wrecked, right? Like this is the first time we've had a real like ecosystem of meme coins, right? Like even in 2020, 2021, right? We only had a few, right? And still, I mean, when they risked off like a hard alt when everything risked off in 2021. But yeah, this is the first time for like this ecosystem, the pump fund ecosystem of meme coins, this cycle's meme coins, to get hit with a risk off thing. And I think it was a big wake up call to a lot of us, which was like, oh, okay, so these things are truly on the farthest possible side of a risk asset that you can have. Like as soon as there's any economic volatility, everyone's just like, get these out of my wallet. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's just ski slope downhill. I even me, like I don't think I expected the severity of like how quickly it can roll down. And also it's a problem of like the amount of people that had so much concentration in meme coins, right? Like imagine if all of us had like 10% exposure to meme coins, right? Then like if they were pulling back, we would be less scared and panicked to start like throwing everything out. But when people have 50, 60, 70, 80% meme coin exposure, when their net worth is going to shit, then they start fucking panic dumping everything, which gets more people panic dumping. And there's no like fundamental value to, like some of them, right? Like maybe you can say there's some fundamental value to like the community aspect or the AI. I know. A lot of that stuff, sounds a lot smarter when we're going up only.
Okay. Bachelor Society, can you tell us how much of your net worth, what percentage of your crypto portfolio is in Fcoin? I'm genuinely curious. Would love to know. He's been in Fcoin, I think, for the last 4 or 5 months.
Since we bought it on the show, I think.
It's so difficult when you're that involved. If you buy something, if you bought Fcoin at like 10 million bucks and you held that all the way to 2.5 billion, it's nearly impossible to sell at any point in time. Gordon Goner had like $20 million or however much in Fcoin, and he round tripped, I think, literally most of it. Okay, Bachelor Society says 70% of his portfolio is in Fcoin. Holy shit.
Would you guys be up on that Fcoin buy during the show? Yeah, we'd be up
astronomically
25x, or we'd be up 5 million. No, we'd be up 50x. Sorry, we'd still be up 50x from our original buy, dude. Yeah, I mean, here's the thing, like, because when we go through like these cycles and stuff like that, once again, it's super easy to be in the minutia and like looking at your portfolio, look at yourself getting poor every day. What is harder to do but more valuable is to kind of like zoom out and try to position yourself, right, mentally and monetarily for where you think things are going, right? So there, first of all, this is a very aggressive pullback and like kind of like I don't know, pull up the Pepe chart for me. Like how much did Pepe draw down after its original run? Remember when it got listed? Remember when it got listed on Binance and it went, I think it went to like $1 billion and then it went all the way down. Did it go down to like 200 million?
That's so hard to find the ETH Pepe.
Kicks, I think part of the Pepe, like I think we're just in a completely different meme coin landscape than we were back with Pepe.
More so what I'm trying to say, Clemente, is one thing that I feel like I've learned, right? When we get these pullbacks and stuff like that, or like big drawdowns, is a lot of people get attached to like, oh, okay, now I'm getting a super big discount on this thing. And when everything turns around, this thing, which is usually a hyper speculative alt play, is going to pump like crazy. In my experience, generally, with a few exceptions, generally it's a new meta that takes form or a new crop of things that take form, right? And it's like getting attached to your bags from the last cycle run up, right? Or the last meta run up can kind of fuck with you because then you're off sides when whatever inevitably the next thing going. The reason why I want him to pull this up. I mean, yeah, like, so like you saw it with this, right? Like big run up and then it kind of just didn't do shit for a long period of time. So this is an example of an exception. Basically what I'm saying is there are some coins that can have a pump, consolidate for a long period of time, and then end up being a leader in the next run up, right? So
Ray, can you go back to that first part, that very first pump? Go back, like I'm saying, back to like it pumped like $1 billion. Okay, cool. So this pumped to 2 billion. Fartcoin pumped to 2.5.
yeah. And then
During the
major
summer.
drawdown, look almost to the same price point.
This is interesting.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. Like specifically with something like Fartcoin, you like, or something in the AI sector, right? That's like positionally set up well. Yes, that could be a massive fucking runner, right? But it's picking that one, right? Whereas often, right, like metas shift, and you're better just to like look for the new meta to deploy into. But I wanted to provide perspective to both sides. Because yes, if Fartcoin is the Pepe of like the AI run, let's say, right, then it could have a long consolidation period, or it pretty much did the same drawdown. Like Clemente, you said, okay, it went to 2 million. Fartcoin went to 2 billion. They both went to 2 billion, wicked up very quickly to 2 billion, draw all the way down to like the 200 million range. Right. And now Pepe is the number one meme coin. So, for Fartcoin, maxis, there's some bull
What
faces.
I also noticed with Fartcoin was during this drawdown, the mind share it still had, because the mind share that it has on the way up, where it like flips whatever company in market cap and like gets picked up on mainstream, it does the same thing on the way down. I saw probably Fartcoin posted about the most, where people were like, I round tripped 6 figures. Like I have to explain to my wife that I round tripped 6 figures on something called Fartcoin, right? Like the same logic on the way up is like, how could I be so stupid that I put money in Fartcoin?
Well, I just don't understand. Like if you're ever up 10 or 20x on something, like how do you not just even sell to like 10%? You know what it is? The mindset to hold it at 10 or 20x is just a different mindset. The person that wants to trims at a 3x.
Yeah, exactly. The person that like and they end up missing, right? They're like, fuck, it could have been a 10x. The person that hold it to a 10x, like if there's 100 people and they hold a 10x, what percentage of those people actually end up taking profits versus round trip? More, I think, end up.
They basically are on the same journey to the same destination, but they like take these wildly different, routes.
This is it. It's like you're at a 10x, you're literally up $100,000, but you're like, no, I want to get to $1 million fucking dollars. Yeah, I'm not this thing. Of course, this thing's gonna go to 10 billion. What are we talking about? Like, we're at 2.5 billion. Job's not finished, and then you get to 5 billion.
I was even getting a little silly during that period of time. You know what I mean? I was like, AI 16Z, 5 to 10 billion, like sounds reasonable. I got sounds like reasonable. Like it doesn't sound absurd. Like it sounds reasonable.
One thing I want to jump back to is like the old runners coming back, and like I want to compare it to like 2022, like picking the old good NFTs to come back. And like even if you picked like the good NFTs, did you really even like have a big return on investment? Like if you had a bag
Pepe,
of like,
Pepe was it. If you could buy any NFT in 2023.
NFTs.
Oh, sorry, I meant Pudgy Penguins. Sorry.
Yeah, it was only Pudgies really. Like even if you bought like, okay, I'm gonna buy apes, Azukis, doodles, cool cats.
Exactly. And that's the point, right?
Lions, like these guys are gonna come back. And like they don't come back.
Yes. That's the point is yes, there can be exceptions to the rule that when like the NFT meta died, for the large part, the worst thing you could do is sit in it and hope that you're going to get this crazy run up, right? But there was one exception that you have to clarify to like exactly your point, which was Pudgy Penguins. And hindsight's always 2020. But like at the time in 2023 was a consensus for everybody to go all in on Penguins. People like Spencer, right, were like very correct when you look back at the timeline. But yeah, you're right. And that's why I'm saying, like, unless you have that absurd conviction that you've picked the right one, the smarter thing to probably do is make peace with your bags, sell, get some cash, even if they're down, and just be ready for the next meta, whatever it is. And it could be meme coins again. You know what I mean? But it's going to be the next crop of meme coins that are going to run. it's probably not going to be everybody saying, oh, well, let's go buy all the old ones.
Yeah, I mean, you just don't have the same like risk reward. People have already built up sizable positions. They're ready to dump. You have people who are just tired there. Like when there's something new, you have that more of that chance for that like exponential run up because like they haven't been capped before. Whereas like now everyone's like, okay, well, Fcoin got back to 2.5 billion. Like it got to 2.5. Maybe I'll trim it at 1. Maybe I'll trim it 2. Like I'm not going to round trip it again. So you have all these whales with big size that aren't going to be potentially holding through that because they already went through that first.
100%.
Dude,
Rick just shared something that's like so depressing. So I shouldn't be smiling. Sometimes I smile. Some people smile during depressing situations. It's like a nervous response. So I'm not smiling. But he says, I know someone who held BETH from 50K to 16 million and back down to 200K. He had 500K in unrealized profit, like broke him. Like the last generation had PTSD from the Iraq war. Before that, Vietnam. Right? Before that, the Korean War. Before that, World War II. Before that, World War I. Every generation has had their trauma. Our generation is meme coins. The meme coin trench is more PTSD than maybe even the Iraq war. I may be ludicrous to say that percentage-wise. Because you got to think about that. For someone to go from like, if you don't have a lot of money, right? If you have like 20K net worth and you put 5K into something, you run up to 500K and then you go back down. Like that is so mentally, that's terrible. You know what I mean? That's not as bad as the guy that lost the Bitcoin in the landfill, but it's up there. You know what I mean? That's just tough. That's like really, because like imagine like you can, it's hard to just like go and get a job and like grind really hard and be like, I put 5K into the old S&P Roth this year. You know what I mean? When you know you almost had that taste of glory, but that's the game at the end of the day. But yes, I think a lot of people are going to like look back and be like, there's some really happy people out there that have a solid 9-to-5 job. They have a family. They have like a lot of real life friends. They have a hobby and they don't really give a fuck about, you know what I mean? Any of like the rags or riches stuff. They just live a normal life and they'll die a happy person, fulfilled. You know what am I talking about right now? I don't know, but you know what I mean?
Yeah,
sometimes
you hear some of these
stories.
Had the taste of crypto, and then you're talking about your history before crypto. You're like, I had this great life before crypto, and then crypto just ruined it. Fried my dopamine receptors.
If you talk about people that got addicted to like crack or pills, dude, it's like a similar story. Like I had such a normal life before I became a crackhead. And now like I'm trying to get a normal life again, but I like the crack changed my brain. Like, you know what I mean?
I still have a firm belief that this is the best industry to operate in. If you are a builder or like I like hard stop, the best place to operate in. I'm not saying.
And if things that don't break you make you stronger, you know what I mean? Like if you learn just to, and that's why I think it comes back down to like risk management and stuff like that, right? If you can avoid putting yourself in these positions where you can just lose it all, then I can't even say that comment, dude. It ruined my life, ruined my son's life for 2 months.
Chuck, and look at the PFP as if someone that's just devastated. Like what they just look pissed.
It looks like a person that's like I don't know who my son is anymore.
Yeah, I think crypto can be really fun if it's not the old like crypto trading and like doing all these things. It can be really fun to do if it's not the only horse you're betting on. Like if you're all in on like the only way I can make money is if I full port this meme coin because I don't have any other way to make money. And then you just ride that, dude. That is brutal. That is a psychological like warfare you're putting yourself through.
100%. And if I can put some like perspective, right? I also think one of the thing is that I think humans overweight when things go their way. It's because they're smart, right? And when things go against them, it's like, oh, I fucking got unlucky, or like I got like fucked over, yada yada yada. Like I crushed NFTs in 2021, right? And part of me believes that like if I really just like grinded, like if it was my focus, if I wasn't focused on other things, if I focused really hard on meme coins in 2024, I would have crushed it too. But here's the sobering reality. Maybe I was just like the perfect mix of like good, lucky, right timing with NFTs. And that may have been my one time in my life where I'm just going to be able to like massively outperform the market, right? And that's fine. You know what I mean? Because I made the bag when the stars were aligned for me, right? And now it may just be smart to play a smarter game and not think that I'm some sort of genius. And I think a lot of people can get themselves trapped in that. Like they crush meme coins in 2024 and they really think like they are the second coming of the chosen one. You know what I mean? And in reality, they just may have been kind of lucky on some plays, right place, right time. Point being that when you're up big, like take some money out and just hedge against you not being as smart as you think you are. You know what I mean?
Yeah. One thing I want to add, I think that a lot of people aren't even thinking that they're like that much smarter than everyone else, but they're like, market conditions are going to come back. We're going to get a bull market. We're going to see craziness like we saw for NFTs again. That's going to happen and everyone's going to win. And I'm smart enough that when it's up only season and everything you buy is going to go up, that I will make money. But like, we don't know if that's ever going to happen again. If we're going to see something crazy like we did with NFTs.
But when you see something crazy, it's so hard to be like, this is the when I'm going to take it out. We all experienced this during the AI meta that happened 3 months ago. I was like,
I was top blasting some things.
It was so rational. I was like, yeah, of course AI 16Z's at 2.5.
Because your brain re-weights to like the current reality. So then it seems normal. Like the market prices are like, this is normal because this is priced this. So why wouldn't this be priced this?
Exactly. And then like all of a sudden we look back, we're like, holy shit, dude. Like it's insane. And knowing when to take stuff out at that point is crucial. I also, dude, this is some crazy shit, dog. I will say crypto trading, the emotional part of it and like the ups and downs of it. I've recently just been buying like MicroStrategy and Bitcoin and I feel so much better.
You're almost crying. Yeah. Are you laughing or crying?
I've been like the amount of the mental sanity that I now have from not having so much capital in like insane things. I'm just like, dude, I'm chilling like a villain now. I took like 10 grand out, set aside a little physical health fund. I'm buying a road bike. I got a gym membership. I got a stretching membership, dude, and I fucking feel good.
I hit the sauna hard 2 days ago and felt really good from the sauna. Dude, I'm completely with you. And listen to this. The thing about meme coins also, I think, okay, first of all, it's fucking fun. Let's all be real, dude. I said last cycle, we're trading tickers with JPEGs attached to them. And then this cycle, we just traded the straight fucking tickers, dude. And there's nothing more fun than catching that fucking horse and you make 10, 20x in an hour or two. You're like, oh, I just made 5 grand or something like that. That's fucking awesome. But it is funny, the framing on it. Do you remember Saint? Remember when Saint launched that meme coin? For some reason, like the logical part of my brain flipped off, right? Because like I bought it and I sold it for like a 2x and then it rid up harder. And I just convinced myself that this was going to be like the fucking patron saint of crypto. Like I just convinced myself that. And I started buying the dip the entire way down. And next thing I know, like 36 hours later, I'm down like 6 grand. And I'm like, I'm kind of like a guy that blacked out and like lost a bunch of money in Vegas. I'm like, what the fuck happened? Like, what was I doing? But then like, I've lost way more than that on this just general market pull down, right? But I'm just like, hey, that's the market, right? But the Saint thing almost fucking broke me, dude. It almost mentally fucking broke me. Then I had to realize, like, dude, this is like a small percentage of the net worth. You're fine. And then I got back on the horse and ended up making it back on some other trades. But fuck that.
It's because you make the money like when it's something so irrational that you're putting your money into. You
really feel like an idiot when it doesn't work out.
The hangover after that is just brutal.
Yeah, that was when 12 Soul was worth something, I think, too.
Yeah, dude, I remember this. Patron saint of the digital age. It could be an A+ tier meme. Patron saint of the digital age.
I'm a better salesman than a trader. I'll tell you that, dude. Better salesman. Hoping there are a lot of Catholics in Korea and Hong Kong. Like, fuck.
Dude, these are so good. I remember I bought in. I was following you in this one. I had the same conviction. I think I had the same playbook. I was like in, out, and then back in with more size, and then it just went slow ride to zero.
And I broke like my cardinal rule, which is because I always lose, and this is a perfect example. Never get fucking back into an alt that you fucking sold. Like, except I did with Trump, and I made 20 grand. So it's not always right either. It's like a 90% rule. You know what I mean? It's a guideline. It's like being a pirate. It's a guideline. But generally, whenever I get back into something that I traded out in and out of, you're so fucking emotional, right? That you're just gonna fucking wreck yourself. Yeah, double dipping is the kiss of death. Rick Starr, 100% agree.
Oh man, that's a blast from the past, and it was like only like 6 months ago.
I know.
It
feels like a lifetime. Yeah, feels such a long time ago. Dude.
Might have even been November, not even 6 months. We've been running for a while now. I think I'm ready to wrap it up. Anything else you want to chat about before we run for the weekend? All right, let's wrap it up. Thank you all for listening. Another excellent week.
Full moon.
Full moon, blood moon eclipse. Catch us Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. Eastern time. We'll be back next week. Watch us on all major podcasting platforms, Spotify, Apple. Catch us on YouTube. See what we're talking about. Look at Kix's Discord predictions and bodoggos for Saint memes and such like that. Enjoy your weekend, everybody. We'll see you next week. Have a wonderful Friday.